right, quite a few of you. Very nice. All right, well, let's get started. First things first, go ahead and take out your pencils. For those of you who haven't been here before, you might be noticing that we're missing something pretty important on the end. Does anyone know what we're missing?
Erasers.
Erasers, that's right. We don't have erasers here at the Animation Academy. The reason for that is a lot of times we do have erasers, we get really fixated on our mistakes, we want to go back in, stop and start over. Here the goal is to keep everything really light and sketchy. So go back in the end, darken up all lines, you want to keep it. Everything else will just fade to the background like it never even happened. The point is really to have fun. So let's get started. For Oswald, the first thing we're going to do is draw a circle. Now, really lightly on your page, I'm going to put mine towards the bottom right of my page just because I don't have quite as much room as you all. But if you want to have him in the center, just make sure you have enough room for those ears because he is a bunny rabbit. After all, he's got those big, long ears. But sketch this circle into place. Really nice and light. And just get your whole arm going for this. It does not have to be perfect, just as long as you wind up with something round that you can work with. And then what we'll do is we're going to go and we're going to add a couple construction lines on here. Now, for Oswald, we're going to be drawing him at a 3/4 angle. So we're going to draw these with a slight curve to them. Kind of like imagine them like you're drawing them onto an actual ball or a sphere. So the first line we're going to draw is going to be kind of like a letter U. It's going to break down right through the middle here with a slight U curve to it. And then our second line is going to go about 2/3 of the way over, just like a backwards letter C going through our circle there. And so once you have those construction lines in place, we're going to start adding on Oswald's features. These are going to give us a guide where we're going to place everything. So the first feature we're going to work on is going to be his nose. This is going to sit where these two lines intersect. I'm going to really lightly just sketch in an oval. It's going to sit right underneath those two. And then what we'll do is we're going to go back and we're going to flatten out the top of his nose just a little bit. He's got a flat top nose, but everything else we'll keep. I'm going to use my middle construction line as a guide for that. And then everything else will just round out along the bottom. So it should start to look kind of like a jelly bean. And then for a little bit of extra detail, once you've got that whole shape outlined, we're going to go in on the top here and just sketch in another really light little oval. And then what we can do from here is just go back in and darken up the rest of our shape. Just get a nice, solid, even tone throughout that nose. And then we'll have a little highlight on top with that little miniature oval there. And now with that, we've got his nose in place. We can start working on this guy's smile. Now to plan things out for where we're going to put this, I'm going to add in the smile lines first. This is going to be just a little hill or a rainbow that's going to sit right along that middle construction line. I'm going to put it in that top left quadrant, just one little rainbow on top, or you can think of it as a letter C as well. And then with that, we're going to bring down Oswald's smile, his upper lip essentially. So I'm going to pull this down from that smile line, and we're just going to tuck it right underneath his nose. So starting at the top here, just bringing around that big letter U, all the way around until we get right up underneath his nose. And then as we have it right now, we've got him with a closed mouth smile, which is fine, but most of the time we like to look at our cartoon characters with nice, big, happy, really excited. It's called a laughing smile, with their jaws dropped down. So we're going to open up this guy's mouth. So underneath this big letter U we just drew, we're going to add in a second one. This is going to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to pull this down a little ways down on our first U shape, around the bottom of my circle, and then I'm going to pull it up right as I get along that middle construction line there. So just one more little letter U there. And then underneath that, because now we have his jaw dropping down, so we want to show his lower lip in there as well. So just to apply a little bit more thickness, I'm going to go underneath that U shape. I'm going to add in one more. So just follow that guide around, back up towards our circle. And now with that, we've got his smile pretty much all taken care of, but I'm going to go inside that mouth. We've got a lot of open space there, so I'm going to open that up, just add in his tongue. Now on the left side, I'm going to pull down a hill shape for the first half of his tongue, and just heading towards the center of his mouth. And the other half of his tongue is just as simple. We're going to pull off that same little hill shape, just off from the side, and connect that to the inside of his lower lip. And if you want to, you can shade the background a little bit. And then now we can start working on Oswald's character mask. So above those little smile lines we added in on the end of his smile, we're going to draw in his cheeks. Since these smile lines show that his smile is pushing his cheeks up a little bit, we need to give him some to do so. So above that, we're going to add on a slightly bigger little rainbow. It's going to follow that same basic guideline just a little ways up and head in towards our middle construction line. So just curve this around, and then what we can do also from here is just pull this around the side of his head as well. So I'm going to just bring this out, and then follow the guideline of my circle here just to the inside of his lower lip. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're going to leave off that cheek though. We're just going to fill in this little circle area that we have here. Just do a little bit of tracing around that. So already from here we see a lot of similarities between Oswald and Mickey. He has a lot of the same traits that Oswald had with him. Same design concept. Now at this point we've got all of his lower features intact. I would say that we are about halfway through our drawing at this point. So how is everyone doing so far? We lost everyone. Okay, that's fine. Just very focused, right? Okay, very good. Are we having some fun yet? Good. All right, that is the most important thing. Well, let's keep going. If you don't see Oswald yet, it is okay. We're going to work on one of the most important features for this character, or any character really, and that is the eyes. Now, especially for Oswald, he has a very specific type of eye shape. It's called pie eyes. And this is because he was designed in the 1920s, and this was very popular. If you go over to Paradise Pier, you see Mickey's Fun Wheel, he has the same kind of eyes. It's basically just a black circle with a slice of pie taken out of the side of it. So we're going to draw these in for Oswald now. These are going to sit on either side of our construction line in that upper quadrant. So I'm going to start this off by just sketching in really lightly one oval on the left side. And again, just keep this really light loose because we are going to go back in and take that slice of pie out. So for the other side, we'll do the same thing as well. This is going to be a little bit smaller than our first one just because we are looking at him at an angle. But once you have those two eyes shaped out in place, we'll just go in on the side here, just take out our letter V, or that slice of pie. And then you can also just go back around that entire shape, just darkening that up, so I'm getting a nice solid eye line there. And it should start to kind of look like two Pac-Mans on Oswald's face. So go all the way around that, and then we'll also darken these up. This is very important. So once you have them all into place, just go back through and just press down really hard with your pencil, just so you get a really nice, solid, even tone in there. We want these to be the focus of our drawing, since it really is important. It's where you see all the characters' emotions. So if it's the darkest thing on the page, it's where the eye will automatically go to first. So even though I said this is a light sketch drawing class, this is the one time you can really break that rule. So get a nice, even tone in there. And then we will move up, give this guy a little bit more expression. He's a very mischievous character. So we're going to add in what's called his character mask to show off some of his expression. You can see what this is by looking at this Mickey that we have here on the stage, that stuffed animal. He's got the same thing. So again, the design aspects. He's got that M shape around his eyes, or heart shape. Oswald has the same thing. So we're going to go and add this in next. This basically starts with his eyebrows. So I'm going to start things off for this by going right to the top of our circle, right along that midline, and just drawing in a letter V. And then we're actually going to take this letter V, and once you have it into place, we're going to take it and we're just going to stretch it up and over with a couple of rainbows, a couple of arches. So on this side, I'm going to bring us up on the left and just curve it around, right till I get back towards the inside of that cheek. This whole thing is going to connect together. So we already started working on the character mask before we even knew it. And then for the other side, this is going to be a little bit smaller, obviously, so we're going to go in, and I'm just going to curve this around. And I'm really just going to pull it until I get to the outside of that circle. And then you can just start tracing again, just going over those lines and darkening it up. And now that we've got all of that in place, we've got the character mask all taken care of, we just go back in now and do a little bit more tracing. I'm going to start on the back side of his head, pulling up from that cheek area, and just darkening up that whole circle there. So go all the way around there, getting a nice solid head shape for him, locking down those lines, and then just connect it right back to the character mask. So we've just basically outlined our circle here with all the features inside. And now we are almost done. We're almost there, but we are missing something on the top of his head. Does anyone know what we're missing for him? The ears, that's right. We're going to give him those rabbit ears. So for Oswald, we're going to map out where these are going to go first. I'm going to start things off by just going to the center here where our two lines are intersecting and pulling out one construction line, just a light diagonal line that's going to go straight through the center of our top left quadrant. And now for Oswald's second ear, the construction I like to go using that middle construction line we drew at the beginning. We've got that slight curve to it here. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to straighten it out. So we've got his 2 ears into place. Now make these the appropriate size that you want. You can make these really as big or as small as you want. Just gauge it. And then we're going to take these, we're going to just curve them off on the end. So I'm going to start with the left ear and just add on a letter C right on the end of this. And we'll do the same thing on the other ear. Just curving these off on the end. And now Oswald's ears are shaped kind of like baseball bats or like breadsticks a little bit. So you just keep this in mind while you're sketching. They get a little bit thicker as they go out than they do as they get closer to his head. They get a little bit thinner there. So keep this in mind. I'm going to bring down these 2 lines on either side to connect these to his head. So keep these nice and soft. And then just bring them in as you get a little bit closer to Oswald's head. So you get thicker as they go out, thinner as they go in. And same thing for the other ear, just connecting these back to his head. And once you have that, folks, believe it or not, those are all the basic features for drawing Oswald. So at this point, you are more than welcome to go back in, do a little bit of cleanup work. If you'd like to darken up any lines that may have faded throughout the process, or do a little bit of shading, maybe touch back up on those pupils, whatever you feel you need to do to get your drawing looking the best you can make it. But with that, the last and possibly most important step you're going to want to make as artists is going to be to go back in your drawing, find a blank space, and sign your name. Because you have just created your very own portrait of one of Walt Disney's very first characters, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So how did we all do? One horrible, and we lost everyone else. Good. All right. That's okay. I think you're being a little bit too hard on yourself. Well, did we have some fun? Yeah. Okay, good. That is the most important thing. Well, I really want to see how these turned out, so let's have a little student art show, all right? On the count of 3, everyone put on your board so you can see these bunnies. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oswald! All right. Very nice job here in the front, looking really good. Beautiful here in the middle as well. Got some very nice, tiny little detail Oswald. Also, the Santa Cat, very cute. Nice job in the back here as well, looking really good. Got some nice lines going on, very nice dark eyes. Nice and big so I can see you in the back, looking really good. Got a bunch of stuff on that page, looking really nice. I gotta say, I am very impressed with these, Kylie. What do you think?
I think they look great.
I agree. Everyone here passes the class day. Give yourself a big round of applause. Well done. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure teaching you all how to draw Oswald today. If you want to come back and draw with us some more, we would love to have you. We are having another class in about 15 minutes. Who are we drawing for that one, Kylie?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. All right. So if you want to come back and draw Mickey with us, we would love to have you. If we don't see you, have a wonderful rest of your night and happy holidays. Class is dismissed.